So, good evening and welcome to the week 9 of the live interactive session of the Neuroscience for Engineers. The course instructor is Professor Vikas V from Nemans, Bangalore. I'm the PMR of Teaching Assistant Vikas Pandey from IIT Jodhpur. This is a brief about me. As we have been doing from last some weeks, that we are discussing the summary of the whole week before going to questions. So, we will continue with that. So, in continuation with the human vision, we were discussing human vision, right? So,
Now we are this week, I think, hearing.
yeah, first one lecture is on human vision,
Yes, yes, sir.
and then hearing, yeah, auditory. So,
Mm.
in continuation to the human vision, we had seen that there are gazes happening, like in how eye movements are being controlled, how reflex is there that controls the movement of eye, and we don't feel the gaze when our head is moving and eye is fixed and all that. Okay, now we have seen that gaze centers that are located in frontal and parietal lobes that control the eye movement, and also we have seen that the signals are sent to the opposite side nucleus for coordinated movements. So how is it, like in the previous class also I was discussing about the analogy of the camera technology and the human vision, like how cameras work and how human vision works. Okay, so in case of camera technology also, we see that stability is very crucial for sharper image. Okay, like I was talking about optical image stabilization, OIS, right? Nowadays we have this kind of technology which uh, actually mimic the way our eyes stabilize themselves, and thus we are able to get sharper images from the camera. But there is a difference, that human vision samples images, like a lot of image is coming, and from that whatever we want to see, we take it, right? Like our eyes take it and our perception goes on. Unlike camera where we purposefully open for taking capturing and all that. Okay, so there is a difference. Like in human vision, continuous data is going. In case of camera, it is being purposefully done, like we want to capture an image, then we go for capturing an image. And the eyes mechanism actually not just have this capturing thing and all. We have perception and uh, other very complex thing going beneath that makes it very complex, as well as uh, having a lot of features, like we are able to understand a lot of things seeing, just by seeing the thing. Okay, so depth perception relies on binocular vision. Like I said, that since we have two eyes, we are able to understand the depth and the distance from seeing. And then object recognition, that is through our brain. We see something, and after some time we see the same thing, we are able to recognize, that is the recognition. Okay, then lighting, shading, and shadow, these things also help us in the computation, or understanding the depth perception and all. Okay, so now let's come to the auditory perception, that is the hearing. This is a very important sensory modality. This helps, like this complements vision in our understanding of the environment. So just by seeing something and not hearing anything, you can say that seeing like a silent movie, that will have less understanding. Like we will have to put more mind into it, and if we are hearing something, it makes it easier to understand the environment. So they like vision hits the auditory perception, and auditory perception hits the human vision. Okay, so it is not just simple as hearing what we think. Okay, this sound analysis, this is the basics of an auditory perception. Okay, so how this the organ that is related to, like eyes, we generally understand by seeing that it is a circular structure and all that. We all have ears, but ear itself is a very complex mechanism. Okay, so how the ear looks like it, like if we go internally, not just out, what we call as ear, this is called as pinna, and it is the part of the outer ear. Like the whole ear system is divided into three sections: outer ear, middle ear, and inner ear. Okay, so the external the external ear channel sound waves through the auricle and external ear. Okay, so from the this part actually channels the sound waves, okay, to the tympanic membrane or the eardrum. That is from where the middle ear starts. Then the middle ear consists of three tiny bones. These are the like very important bones, and in fact these are the smallest bone in our body. So malleus, incus, and stips. They are you can say a mechanical amplifier. Okay, and they transmit this sound vibration into the inner ear. So we can say that here the conversion occurs. The sound wave to a uh, we can say a signal form to a vibration form. The movement of this eardrum that again moves the malleus, incus, and steps. Steps is, as I said, the smallest bone in our body. Okay, so they amplify. That means whatever we are hearing, it will increase it, and then it will transmit to the inner ear. Then comes the inner ear that also contains the neural pathway. We are hearing, then we are processing it also, just like vision and uh, smell and everything, right? So a very important part of the inner ear is the cochlea, and the vestibular system. Like these two are interrelated, we can say. Cochlea, that is the part for hearing. Along with that, we have the balancing system, that is the vestibular system, that helps us in balancing. So balance as well as uh, hearing, this that takes part in the inner ear. Okay, sound waves enter the cochlea, like if you see this, yeah, the circular structure, like if you have seen the conch sunk, are you familiar? I think you might have seen, right? How like circular patterns are there. Okay, and that can be blown. So very similar to that patterns, the cochlea is there. As well as inside it, there are stimulating hair cells. They look like hairs that convert this mechanical vibration. So this was traveling wave here in the middle ear. It is converted into sorry, it is converted into uh, mechanical vibrations. Then in the inner ear, in the cochlea, due to this hair cells, uh, stimulating hair cells, these are converted into neural signals. Then the neural pathway, that is vesti- vestibulocochlear nerve. This carries the auditory information from cochlea to the brainstem, then to the higher processing center like the primary auditory cortex, and there we understand what is being said and all that thing. Okay, so Then how this understanding is that the signal process, how the signal processing occurs and integration occurs. And one important thing here also is that we, just like our eyes, we have two ears also. That is how we make a sense of the distance from hearing also. Okay, since there will be a slight difference in both the ears, understanding that we will be able to uh, find out how from how distant the sound might be coming. Okay, so sound wave undergoes complex signal processing in auditory pathway involving various brain regions. The primary auditory cortex. So why we are interested to this? Because there can be some defect of hearing. Okay, so the primary auditory cortex detects basic sound features, while secondary areas like wrinkles area intercept and understand language. Okay, so if someone is able to detect basic sound features but unable to interpret, so the neural link there can be a problem. Okay, then this auditory information is integrated with other senses, contributing to our complete understanding. Like we are seeing something and hearing. Okay, so and as well as we are smelling something. Like suppose there is a fire, we are seeing some light, we are hearing some sound of fire, as well as we are smelling some burning. Okay, so all these are processed together, and that completes the comprehensive understanding, as well as heat and other senses are also there. Okay, so uh, this is important to understand how this information is going through, how this if there are some problem in the pathway of transmission of the auditory information, such things can be found if we understand the mechanism. Fine. So if we go deep into the auditory perception, so cochlea is an important part, the circular part that is in the inner ear, that is responsible for the auditory processing. It has mainly three cavities: scala vestibuli, scala tympani, scala media. They are separated by membranes. So, like scala vestibuli, scala tympani, and scala media. So, all these are separated by some membrane. Like in this case, you see uh, basilar membrane. In this case, Reschner membrane. Okay. So, there are different membranes separating this structure, three structures. So, sound waves enter through the oval window, travel through the scala vestibuli. So first it travels through this. Sound waves, when we are talking about the vibration that has been converted into the middle ear. Okay, and then exit via the round window. Then there is something called as organ of Corti that is located within the scala media. That is from here it will enter from oval window, exit from the round window, and then it will enter to the scala media. There it has uh, organ of Corti. Then we have inside the organ of Corti, we have sensory hair cells that are responsible for detecting the auditory stimuli. This inner hair cells have the neural connection, synaptic connection. So, like they have synaptic connection. The outer hair cells, they serve as the supporting role. So hair cells convert this mechanical vibration into electrical signal. That is, they will have some. You can understand that they will have some different resonance frequency, and at this, uh, the different hairs will respond to different frequencies, and they will generate the neural signals accordingly. And once it is in the form of neural signals, we can say it as an electrical signal since it is ionic current only. Okay. So this is how we hear uh, the sound. Okay. So I think, yeah. So like they resonate differently at various frequencies. This I have said. Okay. This frequency selectively enables the cochlea to discriminate between different pitch, like high pitch, low pitch. If these differences we are able to understand that. So this whole basilar membrane resonates at different frequency along its length. Okay. So in a way, it separates the waves into their component frequencies. So specific regions of the basilar membrane respond to different frequency range from low to high frequency. And on this basilar membrane, there are hair cells. So hair cell that is in the organ of Corti converts the mechanical vibration into electrical signal. The movement of this basilar membrane causes hair cells to oscillate, and since we have seen that the basilar membrane will re- oscillate at responding to different frequencies, different parts that will respond to different frequencies. So potassium channels in these hair cells that is connected to the neural pathway, okay, opens in response to this movement, leading to depolarization and the neurotransmitter release. And thus we are able to understand, thus we are generating this electrical signal. Then it is transmitted to the brain. So this frequency coded information like different hair cells responding to different frequency, that simply means like specific frequency will only simulate this specific hair cells. Okay, this is transmitted through the vestibulocochlear nerve to the brain. This pathway relays information from cochlea to medulla, superior olivary nucleus, inferior colliculus, and then the auditory cortex. So uh, we can say that these frequencies are like hardwired into the pathway, while these amplitude variations convey the intensity. Like if it is going through this pathway, that means it is having this frequency. But how much it is going, like how much is the vibration, that will determine the amplitude. How what is the amplitude of the sound wave? So uh, we can say that hair hair cell act as the transducer of the uh, this sound system. So these understanding help us how we perceive and interpret sound in various contexts. Then, as we talk, that ear also plays one more function, that is balance and posture, not just the auditory information. So, which part is responsible for this? So, there is a vestibular system that is located inside the inner ear. So, it is not only the balance and posture mechanism, there are vision and proprioception. Okay, so it consists of semicircular canals for rotational motion and utricle or cervical for linear motion. So there are two parts. Uh, one is uh, to understand the rotational motion of the body. The other is to understand the linear motion of the body. So how this semicircular canal detect angular acceleration, while utricle or sacral sense the linear acceleration of the body. In these also there are hair cells, okay, that convert these mechanical motions into electrical signals. So we can, these are having fluid kind of structure. So just as we have studied in this from the Newton's first law, we understand that if something is rest, like I am standing here, my body fluid, like this fluid is at rest, and if I am moving forward, it will have a movement in the backward direction, and this my brain will this will simulate this hair cells, and then my brain will be able to understand that I am moving forward. Okay, so how to maintain the balance and all. Okay, And here also potassium rich indolins, they help in the modulating the hair cell activity, how fast, how less. And if I am moving in the circular motion, then there will be the canal, semicircular canal structures. Okay, so then from this vestibular ocular reflex, so we can say that this is the path. Remember that we talked about that this is the path that used to control the eye movement when our head is moving. Okay, so this coordinates the eye movement with head movement. So the ear, in a way, plays role in our vision also by maintaining the position of the eye when we are moving the head. So the vestibulospinal tract provides signals to address body posture and muscle tone. Like if we are falling or something, so that part is taken care there. The system integrates eye, head, and body signal to maintain balance. So there are three parts. That is, it maintains the eye position, head movement is integrated there, and then body signals like muscle and these controls are also there to maintain balance. Okay, so what is the clinical relevance of this part? This is that if there is some problem in the vestibular system, this can lead to balance disorders. Like, hello, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here only.
Yeah, okay. Uh, you are hearing, like, you are able to get me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, if there is a damage to vestibular system, uh, even though it can not be fully compensated, but it can be corrected a bit. Okay. So, balance related conditions, which are very common. Okay, balance related disease, like many times if someone is suffering from some other disease, then it might even lead to some balance related problems by damaging this nerves or some other regions also. Okay, that is crucial in understanding the this and compensating if there is a problem. Okay, so now we will move to questions. Any question till here?
We'll see in questions, sir.
Okay, fine. So which brain regions are responsible for controlling eye movement? Temporal lobe and occipital lobe, frontal lobe and parietal lobe, frontal lobe and occipital lobe, parietal lobe and temporal lobe.
Occipital lobe is there. Now A
Hmm.
or C. So in that case, A, A, A maybe temporal lobe and occipital.
It's frontal lobe and parietal lobe.
Sir, occipital means it is related to eye, no? Backside.
It is saying it is eye movement,
Oh, okay.
okay?
Moment.
Movement, not understanding the vision. Okay.
Okay,
So,
sir.
as starting the first part was there are two gaze centers responsible for controlling eye movement that are frontal and parietal lobe. These regions send signal to single nucleus, which is hardwired in opposite side of nucleus. So ultimately coordinating eye movement. Like right eye movement will be done from the left center and left eye movement from the right center. So in total, like coordination of both the parts. Okay. Which eye movement is not logically okay, why there is not AB? Okay.
Okay. No problem, sir. I can.
Yeah.
Not logically explained.
When fixing an object to the phobia. Vergence, pursuit,
D.
here D. Yes.
Saccades.
Yeah. That vergence, pursuit, and VOR are logical eye movement to fix an object to phobia to ensure attention. However, scads are described as mystery and work differently than other eye movements. Right? So now in camera technology, what is directly connected to sharp imaging? High exposure time, lower sensor rate, stability, or post-processing techniques?
Lower sense means directly control sharper image stability or
Stability.
or
These are the factors.
lesser exposure time, lesser.
Yeah, higher exposure time will actually make it to, we can say, a lot of data will be there and it will not be a sharp image. So something that is very important is stability. If in the same exposure time, same sensor rate, the camera is stable, and in one case the camera is unstable, it will have different sharpness of images. So how this stability can be ensured? This can be ensured by using high sensor rate and reduced image acquisition time. So very less exposure time, this reduced image acquisition time, that means uh, not high but less exposure time, and high sensor rate, not low sensor rate. Okay, along with technique like image stabilization, post processing. Okay, these are something that will enhance it later. Image stabilization is something like a feedback mechanism that is now it is being used. Okay, what distinguishes human vision from camera based vision? Use of gyroscopes for stabilization, use of planar sensors, sampling of images instead of capturing them, reliance on post processing for image enhancement.
What distinguish animation from camera?
Camera based vision.
Also,
When we are talking about camera based vision, so understand that we are not talking on in this handheld cameras. Let's say that nowadays computer vision is there, right? That we are installing some cameras, say, to identify if someone is violating the traffic rules or this kind of thing. So let's understand in that type of scenario. Okay, so that is also vision, right? So camera based vision, and we have a like human vision is there. So what is the difference?
sampling of images instead of capturing them.
Capturing, because in our case we receive all the data and we are sampling what we need, like in case of eyes. Okay, and in case of normal camera based imaging system or vision system, there is capturing of image being done purposefully, like the sensor will be open for some time, like open close kind of structure is there, right? Like so it will acquire what we study is that, suppose that a video camera also actually clicks a lot of photos and then it just merges them together, right? But in our case there is no such thing, like we are not taking it frame by frame. We can say that we are continuously seeing things and we process according to our need. We sample according to our, like we are getting all the data and we are taking what we need. Okay, so now which part of the ear captures sound waves? Cochlea, semicircular canal, tympanic membrane, or oval window?
Tympanic membrane.
Tympanic membrane or the eardrum. This captures the sound wave and vibrates in response. So till here sound is in the sound form till it reaches the eardrum. Which bone in the middle ear is responsible for transmitting sound vibrations to the inner ear? There are three bones we have studied, right? But which part transmits it to the inner ear, like where the
Stapes.
conversion completes? Step.
Stapes.
And yeah, this is the smallest bone also, right? a small, you can say, very small semicircular kind of structure. Okay, transmit sound vibration. So till tympanic membrane, it was sound, sound wave. Here we are saying sound vibration. So these together, they with the vibration, they are able to convert into sound vibrations, and the steps, that is transferring this into the oval window of the uh, inner ear. Okay. So, what is the purpose of the vestibular system? To detect sound waves, to maintain balance in the spatial orientation, to interpret visual stimuli, to regulate body temperature.
What is the purpose of that? Is balance, no, sir. Maintain
Balance,
balance and spatial orientation.
spatial orientation. Which nerve carries auditory information to the brain? Facial nerve, trigeminal nerve, cochlear nerve, or optic nerve?
I think facial nerve and this nerve is same. It's called cochlear nerve, sir. Or facial nerve
Yeah,
only, no, in that two branches there.
facial nerve is like completing,
Coming into the one
yeah,
hole. Facial nerve
one,
and
yeah,
cochlear nerve.
cochlear
Okay,
nerve,
okay.
yeah. So, how is sound transferred from the air medium to the liquid medium in the inner ear? As I said, that in the inner ear, um, whether it is for balance or for understanding the sound, there is liquid, right? So, how the sound is transferred from the air to the liquid medium? Through the cochlear nerve, via the semicircular canals, across the oval window, or through the endolips.
To the endolymph. It is coming from that bones and it is connected otherwise
It
across
is
the oval window.
oval window, yeah. So, like I said, that from the steps, it is this vibration, it has been converted into vibration, and
Go to
this
oval
vibration,
window, sir. Correct,
yeah,
correct.
through the oval window. So, till here, it is, we can say, sound, vibration, and then it is converted into signals, we can say, right? And in the liquid medium, still it will be vibration, right? So, through the oval window, it goes into the liquid medium of the inner ear. Okay. What structure is responsible for dividing the cochlea into three cavities? Basilar membrane, tympanic membrane, heliocentrema, or oval window? I think I showed just some slides back.
Basilar membrane.
Basilar membrane. It
Huh?
is for dividing cochlea into three cavities. This is helicotrema.
A basilar membrane only it is a three frequencies, and hair cells.
Yeah, that is in the center. If you
Oh, okay,
see
okay. This is for that one. Huh?
division, we are. I think we have the image right somewhere. I kept, yeah. So basilar membrane is somewhere here. Okay, so it is in the center. It is not dividing the whole structure. It is asking how, which one is dividing it into three parts, and
Okay,
the
okay,
three
okay.
cavities. Yeah, these are scala vestibuli, scala tympani, and scala media. So, which cochlear part is responsible for transmitting sound wave from oval window to the apex? Scala vestibuli, scala tympani, helicotrema, or round window?
Another question. Responsible transferring sound waves from the oval window to the effects. Through oval window, then it is going to the scala vestibuli. Scala vestibuli, then only it is.
It is going to a scala vestibule and then to the round window. It is going to the apex. Then what is the primary function of the organ of Corti? That is there in the basilar membrane, right? So it is the amplification of the sound waves, transmission of sound signal to the brain, detection of the auditory stimuli, or regulation of the fluid dynamics.
Corti is that hair cells, no, sir?
Yes,
Transmission of
inside
sound
Corti
signal.
there are hair cells,
Transmission of sound signals to the brain.
but are they still in the form to be directly sent? It is like we said, the hair cells will sensory hair cells will detect the auditory stimuli because uh, they will vibrate according to different frequencies. Then that vibration will lead to uh, we can say the transmission of like conversion into the signal, and then the transmission will occur. But in the organ of Corti, it is we can say it is the center where the conversion is happening. Conversion from
Okay.
vibration to
When will come back, sir?
uh,
This one.
yeah,
Okay, okay. Both are same. Oh, okay, okay, right.
right. So it is where the conversion from vibration to signal is happening, and then certainly it will be the transmission of sound signal that is after this. So what is the main characteristics of the basilar membrane that contributes to its function in the auditory perception? Is it nonlinear response, rigid structure, permeability to sound wave, absorption of fluid? Absorption, sorry.
Main character basilar membrane. Results permeable discount bias. Non-linear. Non-linear response.
Nonlinear response. And how is it like what to
Logarithmic,
differ
logarithmic
logarithm?
response.
Yeah. So the basilar membrane exhibits a nonlinear response. In fact, in our vision also we have a nonlinear response. So frequency selectivity is the effect of this basilar membrane's nonlinearity only. Okay, and so we can say that we are able to uh, identify clearly in some part of some frequency ranges, and some frequency ranges we are not able to distinguish that well, like higher frequencies and all. It will like we will not be able to detect the difference in frequency much, that is having a like high the ranges will not be very distinct. But in case of normal uh, auditory frequency, we will be able to clearly demarcate different frequencies, and that is due to the non-linearity of the basilar membrane. Yeah. How are inner and outer hair cells differentiated in the cochlea? So inner hair cells are taller and outer hair than the outer hair cells, or inner hair cells have more synaptic connections than the outer hair cells. Outer hair cells are located closer to basilar membrane, or outer hair cells are responsible for amplifying sound waves.
What is the difference between inner hair cells and outer hair?
In the cochlea.
I didn't understand. There is a only one hair cells now that is in that middle thing.
Well, so inner, they will have more synaptic connections. So as we have discussed that it is the inner hair cells are responsible for the neural transmission part. Okay,
Outer maybe
whereas
for balance.
outer is for understanding these signals. It is
Okay.
more about vibrating and converting. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
that is why outer hair cells are more into like conversion or transduction, and the inner hair cells are more about neural transmission, like transmitting these signals towards the brain. Okay, so how does the basilar membrane convert complex sound signals into component frequency? When we are hearing something, like you are hearing my voice, it will certainly have no single frequency. It will have combination of some frequencies, right? So how our basilar
Uh,
membranes convert these complex sound waves into component frequency
why,
by
why
generating
resonate? Why resonating at specific
specific
frequency?
band. Like we have been discussing that the different part of the basilar membrane will resonate at different frequency, and as such the hair cells of that area will have vibration. So if say I am speaking at 400 hertz and 470 hertz, and say like my voice say is in this containing these three components, though it is not that simply variable. Okay, so the basilar membrane, say this part is for 400 hertz, then 401, 400, not that very clear, but let's say 405 hertz, therefore will be this so this part that is 470 hertz, then say this part that is for 500 hertz. So the whole membrane will not oscillate, only this part will oscillate, this part will oscillate, and this part will oscillate. And so we will be able to understand these three frequency components, and the hair cells in this part will oscillate according to the amplitude. Like say 400 hertz is having some amplitude, say not in terms of voltage. Uh, let's say some arbitrary unit of 2. This one is having arbitrary unit of 1.5, and this component is having 4. Okay, so then how much they are vibrating, that will depend on this amplitude. What is more, like which component is more, that will lead to more vibrations. So based on the resonant property, the basilar membrane separates complex sound waves into their frequency components.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Split.
What is the role of hair cells in auditory system? To
That
amplify sound
is
wave, to
B,
convert
to
mechanical
convert mechanical vibration to electrical
vibration
signal.
into electrical signals. Okay, so these are the hair cells that are in the organ of corti. They convert the mechanical vibrations that are produced by the sound waves into the electrical signal. So here two conversions occur. Okay. Which neural pathway is responsible for transmitting the frequency coded? Now we have everything in terms of frequency,
Yeah,
right?
frequency. Yes, sir.
Eh, And how is this frequency coded information sent to the brain in the auditory system? Through the optic nerve, through the vestibulocochlear nerve, olfactory nerve, or trigeminal nerve.
Vestibulocochlear nerve.
Co- Okay. Which of the following is not considered one of the mechanism of balance? Visual, proprioception, olfactory, or vestibular?
Visual, I think.
Visual will not play any role in balance.
Otherwise, olfactory. Either visual or olfactory.
Olfactory is smell, right? So will smell have any role in balance of our body?
Oh, no, sir. Then
No.
olfactory.
Yeah. So that is olfactory.
Aptar.
Yeah. Sensory system of joint position, muscle and all, propri uh, proprioception, That is certainly a part of the balancing. Visual is also a part, as well as vestibular mechanism. These three are part of the balance, but olfactory is not. Like smell has no role in balancing. What are the components of the vestibular system responsible for sensing linear motion? As I said, there are two parts. That is, one
One
will
is
be
angular acceleration,
uh,
one is linear acceleration.
linear acceleration.
Angular, this is linear acceleration is done by that utricle and succule.
So,
C.
yeah, see,
Other one semicircular,
semicircular canals that detect the rotational motion.
rotational.
Yeah. What role does potassium play in the mechanism of hair cell depuration within the vestibular system? Initiating hyperpolarization, maintaining resting membrane potential, stimulating neurotransmitter release, or inducing ciliary movements.
This is actually movement only producing hyperpolarization.
Yes.
This is potassium. Initiating hyperpolarization or maintaining, initiating. A or B. A is
You are like two, these two are out, right? Now, between these two, which one should be there?
stimulating neurotransmitter release.
No, these two are
Are
out,
not
right?
related. No.
Yeah.
Now maintaining resting membrane potential, but initiating hyperpolarization. A.
Uh, it is maintaining resting potential.
Maintaining.
Yeah. Which is
Okay.
modulated. Since the movement will initiate uh,
Well,
like depolarization and hyperpolarization. So this potassium has a role in maintaining the membrane potential of the hair cells. So that's all for today. Any questions?
no questions, sir. This is a relatively simple chapter. We'll understand.
Yeah, very simple. And
Infinite
if
in three
yeah,
bonds are there. Then go to this air
yeah,
cavity and somewhat
yeah, and in fact something,
Some machine can we can
yeah,
learn like a machine.
and
No, many
certainly
we can imagine
this
also things.
this part are somewhere covered in our schools also, I think.
Yeah, yes,
In
sir.
our 7, 8, and is like we
Mm.
had some idea, though
Yes,
not
sir.
that detailed,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. True.
So that's all for today. See you
Okay,
in the
sir.
next
Thank you.
class.